Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Guy, Little Guy podcast. And yes, just Big Guy, Tyler. No Anthony, Little Guy. But we've had some scheduling issues in the past couple days. And hopefully this trend doesn't continue. But it's kind of hard right now. And I'm going to try this, see how it works. This video may not even come out. It might be just completely horrible. I don't know. Because where I do my gaming channel, it's a little easier to do this because I've kind of had the practice of just talking to myself, kind of. But let's get into it. Welcome to Sports Hour. And our first topic of the evening is opening day of the NBA has been announced. And boy, it's a doozy. Man, we got the Bucks taking on the Nets. Giannis taking on KD in his big three with Kyrie Irving and James Harden. And we got the Lakers taking on the Warriors. The play-in, if you remember last season, one of the play-in matchups was Lakers versus Warriors. And it was a fantastic match. So well, I guess I'm excited for the Warriors game because hopefully Clay can come back healthy and 100% healthy. Or I don't expect him to be 100% because he's had two big injuries. But I do expect him to come back and play at least 15 minutes, I would say, in this first game. Maybe he'll push it to more. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see if he can get the ball rolling with Curry the way Curry played the end of last season. It's going to be a tough challenge for anybody facing the Warriors because they've added Iggy. They lost Kelly Oubre though, so I don't know if Iggy's I don't think he's an upgrade at this point in his career over Oubre, but I was speculating they should have probably traded Oubre when they had the chance last season, but obviously that didn't play out and he left. But I'm excited to see how some of these matchups play out. Hopefully the Lakers can stay healthy. I think this opening day is going to be two of the teams that's going to be in the finals are in the opening day. I think the Nets and the Lakers. Early predictions, very very early predictions. But yeah, I think those two are going to be. I say they're going to be the favorites heading out of the off season. Okay, let's head into the Eastern Conference power rankings of the NBA. And obviously, heading up at the top is the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, and Blake Griffin. But obviously, it was kind of a no-brainer that they were going to be number one with the big three. Will they stay number one is a question. Can Kyrie get his mental health under control? Can James Harden stay healthy? Nah, it's because last season I feel like they've already proven they can play together. I don't think that's a question at this point. I think the main question is, can they stay healthy when they need to? It's gonna be challenging for them to see, but I'm excited either way. But coming in at your number 2 are the Milwaukee Bucks, and not really a surprise. You could have probably argued them to be number 1, but with the team that the Nets have, it doesn't make sense to put the Bucks right there at number 1 when well, I guess really they don't deserve to be because they don't have the talent that the Nets have, but they are the defending champions going into next season. Hopefully they don't get like swept out of the playoffs or anything like that. Hopefully they can stand a chance against the Nets, maybe in the Eastern Conference Finals again. But I say again, but they didn't play in the finals. Oh man, this is tough without Anthony. I will admit. Okay, staying on the Bucks for just a few seconds here, maybe minutes. I don't know. The Bucks head coach Budenholzer has signed a 3-year extension. You got to bring up the question: if he didn't win the finals this season and lost to the Suns in the finals, would he have a job right now? I would say possibly, with being on the hot seat this season, or this coming season, I guess. But that 3-year extension is looking nice when you have a finals victory under your belt. Just saying, man. It's going to be interesting to see if they can try and compete to repeat. Whoa, try to compete to repeat. Get that. Say that 5 times fast. Why don't you? But yeah. I don't know if he's. I think the Bucks had a lot of breaks last season, which so did the Suns, because with all the injuries, you got to think that it should have been the Nets and Lakers in the play or in the finals. But injuries are nothing new to the game. We know this. Like I said before, T-Mac, D-Rose, Grant Hill. I mean, all them players have suffered from injuries that derailed their careers and completely made them not all-time greats. Like, D-Rose he's crawling back into the mix to be. I wouldn't say great by any means, but definitely crawling back into the mix of being a superstar, I guess. But to say D Rose is let's see, just an all-time great is. I don't think I could put him in my top 20 point guards, honestly. Maybe not even top 30. So that we're 30. But it's tough, man. The injuries last season were definitely for the star players. It was really up there, like more than any other season, just because of the shortened off season, which the fans did say it was a bad idea, but Adam Silver has wanted to start in December for a long time, or start the season in December. Or no, he wanted to start it earlier, so COVID kind of gave him that chance to, which maybe could have worked it in, like maybe made a better plan, like Biden yanking all the soldiers from Afghanistan like that. Maybe Silverman. Gosh, who's that? I don't know why I said that. Maybe he could have worked it out, like maybe a week each year until he got to the point he wanted to start the season. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, you know. And of course, people like LeBron are going to complain. It's in LeBron's nature is to complain, so he's going to. Hasn't stopped him for 20 years in this league almost. Pushing 20. That's crazy. Just like Brady pushing 20. 22, 21 seasons. That's nuts. Well, let's move on. This question was pretty much based for Anthony. And well, he's not here, so obviously. So we're gonna go on, and I'm still gonna address it, and I kind of have already in the first topic we've done, but I'll hit it a little harder right here. And I'm looking at the screen, and it looks like there's something flying around me. Tripping, I don't know. Maybe it's that glitter. But are the Warriors going to be good or bad next season, Anthony? Oh, that's right. It's just me. Oh. No, but my prediction is the Warriors are not going to be great, but they're not going to be bad either. They're definitely not going to be as bad as last season. Do I see them winning 55 games? No, I don't see them winning 55 games. I could see like maybe a 50-32 record. Maybe that's pushing it. That's with Klay Thompson coming back to the max he can at this point. Let me scoot over a little bit. Oh gosh, earthquake! But with the Warriors, it's tough, man, because they're getting up there with age, and Klay Thompson is coming off of two big injuries. I say they're probably the biggest question mark headed into the NBA season, this upcoming season, just because of the injury to Klay Thompson, or the past couple injuries to Klay Thompson. And their roster's not looking great. They lost Kelly Oubre. And Wiseman has not developed last season as much as I would assume Steve Kerr has wanted him to. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 games there where he was going like 2 to 4 rebounds. It's not great, man. For a 7-footer, you got to be grabbing those boards a lot more efficient than that. Man, I wish I had Anthony here. So, Sports Hour. I don't think I could really call it Sports Hour because it'll be like a 30-minute video. It would probably be an hour if Anthony was here, but he's not. So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give my top 5 power forward list for last season. Who I think performed the best out of everybody in their positions. Maybe Anthony can put his up on our Instagram page or our TikTok page. So make sure you guys go subscribe to all those or follow all of us on that. That we can stay up to date with stuff like this, because this is not going to be the first time this happens where one of us has to record by ourselves. It's just inevitable. Yeah, I say inevitable a lot. There is something flying. I saw it. I'm not Thanos. I know. Y'all catch the last What It, or by this time it's 2 What It, or episode 2, 3 come out. We haven't reacted to that, so that might be a reaction for myself. If we can't get on the same page here in the next few days. Let me guess. Lost the wall. Yep. That's all right. I am kind of scooted up a little more than I want it to be. All right. I'm not restarting this for that. Okay. My number 5 on the power forward list of the 2020-2021 season. So, my number 5 is Zion Williamson. I expected Zion to be good, but to play this well is kind of unfathomable for me. Of course, obviously, y'all know the story. He was injured most of last season. Then he come in and went like 20 games with 20 plus points, and that was, I think he broke Jordan's mark, I think, or at least was close to it. I watched more Zion last season than I did this season, which is really odd. But he did step up his game. He still got a lot of work to do, but I do see him as a future MVP. I do see him a future champion. He can get out of the New Orleans. But yeah, he's my number 5. I would probably assume that Anthony would put him higher, but I'm not gonna make Anthony's list for him. So, moving on to number 4, we're going Pascal Siakam. Siakam. Lost another wall. It's all right. Yeah, I can't see it anyway. No biggie. But going with Pascal Siakam, I was hesitant to put him on this list. I wanted to put him at number 5, but the season he had, not last season, but the season before, it was just so good. But this season, I just feel like he did not perform as well as he should have. He was right here and he couldn't take that next level. And I think he kind of digressed a little bit, man. He just not impressed. I didn't hear much about him all season. It never crossed my mind to be like, okay, I need to watch Pascal this game, you know? I need to go watch him because he's going to have a hell of a game or something like that. But that never crossed my mind once this season with Pascal. So hopefully he can I don't know, like step up huge next season because the Raptors definitely need him to with the loss of Kyle Lowry. So I don't know. I don't know. I kind of thought he wasn't. I don't know, man. He just when Kawhi left, he had a good season, and then he really digressed this season. It was not a good season for Siakam. It really wasn't. And in my point of view, your point of view could be completely different, and I respect your point of view because, like I said, I didn't watch him a whole lot this season. There was nothing to watch really. I mean, he just. Well, you could say that about Tim Duncan too. In my opinion, the greatest power forward of all time. He never. He was never the guy you was like, I want to watch this game because of Tim Duncan. That's why he was called Mr. Fundamental because he got you 20 points and 10 rebounds and 3 blocks. Does that stick out? Is ESPN going to be reporting on that? No, but maybe that's what Siakam's doing. I don't know because I don't watch the Raptors. I didn't watch them with Kawhi. The only time I watched them was when they were in the finals, you know. And honestly, they shouldn't have won that finals. But what ifs, you know? Go to Disney Plus if you want to what ifs. Okay. My number 3, and I wanted to put him a little higher, but you'll know the reason once I say his name, why he's not up there. Raymond Green. And if his scoring was in the 12 to 14 point mark, I mean, he would have had an amazing season. But he's the heart and soul of the Warriors, let's be honest. He is a leader. He is a man they look up to. They look for leadership to. And I've always said it, which in a way it's true, but in a way it's not. He's like the Dennis Rodman of our time. But he's not because Rodman was getting like 20 rebounds a game. He was going like 18 to 19 rebounds a season there with the Bulls. And Green, I mean, he does a little bit of everything, I guess. He except scoring. He had like 6 points this season, but he had 8 rebounds and like 8 assists with like 2 steals and a block or something. I mean that's pretty remarkable. And not to say his leadership is the Warriors they demand his leadership night in and night out. If it wasn't for Green, I don't think the Warriors would have been nearly the team they were this season. And I think they would only have 2 championships if it wasn't for Green. I don't think Curry and Clay could have done it that first season against the Cavs without Green. At that point, he was scoring like 12 points a game with like 9 rebounds. So he was a lot more efficient back then. Scoring, at least. Man, I'm burping. Number 2, okay, I want to say real quickly that if AD had played all season, he would probably be my number 2. But he didn't play most of the game, so I cannot put him on this list. But maybe if we do like a who do we predict who do we predict is going to be top 5 in their position next year? He will definitely be up there if he can stay healthy. But my number 2 is Julius Randle, and he took a huge step up this season for the Knicks, and he was someone I looked and was like, I need to watch a couple games of his because he's been going off the past couple nights. He's had a couple triple doubles this season, and his passing ability really rose this season. Maybe because of Rose, I don't know, because D Rose, I would have picked for my 6th man of the year, but that's kind of an unbiased opinion, or I mean a biased opinion because I love D Rose. I watched his first game in the NBA, and I was like, man, this dude's something. So it's definitely in a biased opinion because I love me some D-Rose. And Julius Randle just killed it this season, man. He really did. Except in the playoffs, obviously. In the playoffs, he did not show up. And let's be honest. Trae Young was wanting to win this season. Going back to the East Power rankings, number 3 is the Hawks, which is kind of surprising because they didn't really, not that I know of, to my knowledge, that they have added anybody too like spectacular. I don't think they have. But I'm excited to see what Trae Young does next season. But okay, getting off subject. I'm gonna try not to too much, just so we can have a sports video for Sunday. And if you watched our big news announcement last week, we might have to postpone the first video because scheduling has not been great lately. But my number one, y'all already know who my number one's gonna be. Giannis Antetokounmpo had just a monster of a season. Well, postseason, I guess. I mean, he had a subpar compared to his last couple seasons. Regular season, but he killed it, especially in the finals. He really, we're losing. We good. All right, we're back. I was losing a wall right there, but Giannis had just a tremendous finals run against the Suns. When you put up like 34 a night with like 12, 13 rebounds, that's a Shaq performance right there, you know. The early 2000s Shaq. He definitely deserved the finals MVP without a doubt. There's nobody on that team that should have got a vote. Okay. That's my top 5 list for power forwards, though. I mean, obviously, Giannis was going to be number 1. It's just kind of a Doug question. Just crazy. And it goes to a topic that we've already discussed. Is he one of the greats now? Like, can he be considered one of the greats at this point of his career? He's 26 years old, has 2 MVPs and a Finals MVP with a chip. So, if he were to win next season, which I think is highly doubtful, unless injuries just plague the NBA again like it did last season. I don't see him getting that number 2 and reaching the top. But if he does, there'll be no doubt he'll go down as a top 5 power forward already. And I think he's already headed that way just because of his defense. I would like to see him develop a mid-range, like maybe a fader. I think that could go a long way because he got baited a couple times in the playoffs with faders and he completely missed them, like not even close. And if he can develop that, he will be unstoppable. He's already unstoppable, but he'll be unstoppable from the whole court pretty much. But yeah, that will do it for our NBA topics, unless I can come up with one off the top of my head. Going into the NFL, Jameis Winston is set to start for the New Orleans Saints. I want to hear Anthony's take on this really bad. Anthony, how was it? Oh, I forgot. But yeah, Winston starting. Me personally, I think it's a fantastic move. I think he should have got a couple starts last season when Drew Brees went down with the injury. I talked to Anthony about it. This was way before the podcast, but I was like, I don't know if I would have started Taysom Hill because don't get me wrong, Taysom Hill is a good player, but I don't see him as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's a gadget guy. He's a Percy Harvin. He's a Devin Hester. He can do everything, you know. I wouldn't say Devin Hester. He can't. He's not like the return beast, but like I'll just go Percy Harvin. If you remember Percy Harvin for the Eagles, then he went to the Seahawks for a little while. He was such a good gadget guy, you know. He could run the ball, he could catch the ball, he could throw the ball. Randall L's a good one for the Washington Redskins back in the day. He did everything. He did kick, punt, return. He was a quarterback in college for Indiana, so he could throw the ball good 50 yards, and he did in the Super Bowl with the Steelers. To I think it was Heinz Ward. Getting a little sidetracked, but I love it because it's reminiscent. Randall L was always one of my favorite Washington players because his versatility was unmatched, and now I could say it's pretty much matched with Taysom Hill. You know, he doesn't have the returns that Randall L does, but it's a different league now. It's hard to get returns in today's era. And not saying the returners are bad, it's just the rules are different. People are faster. I don't know. It's different already, and I don't like it. But a lot of stuff I don't like. And what's some other news that come out? Trevor Lawrence has been announced to be the starter for the Urban Meyer's Jaguars, which is kind of a no-dust situation, but I don't think he's going to do great this first season. I think he'll win Rookie of the Year because I don't think anybody else is going to step up. Maybe Jamar Chase. I predicted him to win Rookie of the Year, but it's really hard for receivers to win Rookie of the Year or anybody other than a quarterback, honestly, because I mean it's a quarterback's league, you know. Always has been for the last 10, 15 years. So Trevor Lawrence, I think he's going to, but I don't want him to. I don't know, man. Joe Burrow. I have to check out his stats tonight because he played limited snaps tonight in the preseason finale, but it's crazy. It's crazy. Kyle Allen, I hope the Redskins don't consider him over Ryan Fitzpatrick because that would be a big middle finger to Ryan because he wanted to go somewhere where he wanted to start and at the end of preseason you're just like, no, you're not starting for us. That's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Ron Rivera as a coach. He's really turned our defense into something special, but I don't know. I want Fitzmagic to be our starter going into the season because I think he deserves it. But I think Washington's gonna give it to Kyle Allen the first game at least. I'm not a fan of. I haven't really watched any preseason this year. I hate preseason. I don't think a lot of people played this season though. I'm gonna take me a little drink right here. Okay. We're gonna move on to a little hotly debated subject. It involves the vaccination. So if you don't want to hear anything about it, it might be best to skip forward or maybe just end the video. But LSU, my favorite college team who I've followed for 15 years, I would say I followed Washington for 20 years and then LSU for 15. And oh my gosh, that makes me sound so old. Gosh, I'm getting old, guys. Old. But yeah, LSU is the first SEC school to make it mandatory that you have to have the vax to participate in a game, or not participate in a game, to go to a game, to attend a game. Which is kind of weird because it's a South city, state, whatever. Louisiana. I don't understand it. I think they're going to lose a lot of business. I hope they do because I think it's completely ridiculous. And if they do that, then I will gladly never watch another game live, like in person, and that's okay. And understand it, man. I don't understand it. Oh, cut that. Okay. Why not cut that? That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Gotta get that Jim Carrey facial expressions in there. Okay. But I don't agree with the LSU decision to do that. And I think they'll lose a lot of fans. At least for a year. Hopefully they do. Just like the truckers going on strike. We need to fight for our freedom, people. Y'all need to wake up. Our freedom is way more important than a football game. It really is. Or a couple football games, whatever, season tickets, I don't care. It's way more important, our freedom is. People are like, oh, love thy neighbor. Yeah, but and the government's not loving thy neighbor. What? Who gives a crap then? I don't know. The U.S. is just, it's bad right now. It really is. Nothing like Australia. I know that Australian Afghan is really hitting hard right now. I know, and I'm praying for him every day. God bless them. Gosh, we're having tough times. But I think that's where America's probably going to be heading if we don't stand up as people, as a union. We need to unite, and the Biden and all the media is just separating us even more and more. First, you had black versus white, which was a lot. I mean, it was bad. And do I think racism is as bad as Biden and Antifa and all that crap has made it seem? No, it's not. It's not near as bad. But it's if you haven't heard the song "Brainwashed" by Tom McDonald, it's a very good listen. If you don't like rap, I don't care. Go listen to it. You know, it's don't listen to the music. Slow it down if you have to. Speed it up, but listen to the lyrics. Hell, just go look at the lyrics. I don't care. But they separate us from that racial wise. Then they come out with the vax unvax, which is separating us even. Well, I guess it was racial, and then it was Trump versus Biden, which separated more. Now it's the vax unvax war. I predicted it last year when the election was going on. I feel like there's a civil war coming on, but if you haven't watched our big news video, I believe there's something huge coming. Big as in like the world, and big as in like spiritually. So if y'all are Christians and stuff out there, and y'all aren't taking it serious right now, I think it's the time to start taking it serious. I'm not gonna tell you need to. Do I want you to? Absolutely. You need to get God's number up. You know, we gotta. I don't know. It's getting bad, but I didn't mean to turn it into that. And Anthony would agree with me here if he was here. All right. Our last topic of the day, I just kind of wrote it down just now because we've never discussed anything like this on our show, and it's wrestling, the world of pro wrestling, not like college wrestling for championships or anything like that. It's entertainment. WWE, AEW, TNA, that it's WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, indie wrestling, all those promotions, you know. AEW had a huge would you say a sign, I guess, a free agent sign, and CM Punk. And if you know wrestling, you know CM Punk, I'm sure. The pipe bomb, his rivalry with The Rock and John Cena was pretty legendary. Especially him and Cena was a lot more legendary than The Rock, because obviously The Rock come in for like 3 matches and was out, but he come in and I listened to it, and to this day and any other day, it is the loudest pop I have ever seen. Heard. Not, you don't see it, you don't hear it. Or my brain. You know, I kind of blamed a lot of my brain on Anthony because he said some stupid stuff, but man, I think it's just me. Yeah, and I guess WWE had to respond with bringing Brock Lesnar back. I don't watch wrestling, but I do kind of keep up with it to like a couple week basis. Like every couple weeks, I'll check in, see what's up. And Brock Lesnar has returned. And if you don't know who Brock Lesnar is, you just don't know sports, because he was in the UFC for a little while. Won the heavyweight title in UFC. Actually, he was a pretty good fighter in UFC. I think he beat Frank Mir for the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Cain Velasquez rocked him, but that's another story for another day, hopefully. And I think AEW is going to get their hands on Daniel Bryan too. I think it's only a matter of time before the WWE goes under or gets sold or something. I don't know. NXT, I've heard it was doing good, and now it's not doing as up to its standard. And one of their main players is going to be kind of a free agent, I guess. Adam Cole. I don't really know who he is. Because last time I watched wrestling was The Rock, which I always watch every WrestleMania just because it's WrestleMania. It's like the Super Bowl, World Series, Finals, you just gotta watch it. But the last time I watched like Raw and SmackDown was probably, what was it, 2013? Is that when The Rock come back and won the championship from CM Punk? I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 2013. But that was the last time I've watched The Rock, watched wrestling. I have watched AEW a lot because it gives me the vibe, it gives me the nostalgia of the Attitude Era. And if you know WWE, you know the Attitude Era. It's the greatest era of pro wrestling history. Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H. Jericho was kind of there. He was there at the end, then he kind of transformed into the Ruthless Aggression era. But those type of stars, and it was, that's why I like AEW. I love AEW. You could not pay me to watch WWE unless it's WrestleMania. And last WrestleMania, they're breaking up the WrestleManias into like a weekend now. It's so bad. Last WrestleMania was trash. But you got anything to say, Anthony? Oh yeah, he's not here. Thank you for if you made it through this just with me, congratulations. You are the biggest trooper out there. Gosh, I didn't like this. We need to do this as a team. I tell you that. I don't even know what hold on. Let me see. 44 minutes, and about like 5 minutes of this is going to be cut. Well, a 40-minute sports hour. Sports at the 40. Ooh, that's not bad. Hey, don't steal that from us. No, but thank you for joining me on this episode of Sports Hour. It's been fun. It's been challenging. Without Anthony, I can't ramble. I don't get led into the rambling like I should. But this has been fun. Make sure you go check out the socials in the description as always. At the end of the video, it'll show the playlist for Sports Hour. Go check it out, man. We love our sports, and Anthony's only an NBA guy right now. He's getting into NFL. He's been playing some Madden with me on the weekends when we're not recording. So he's getting his knowledge up there on the NFL, but it's going to take him a little bit. And we're trying to get into soccer and stuff. And oh yeah, and Cristiano Ronaldo went back to Manchester United. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I'm not really sure. Not big on soccer. I love FIFA, or I used to love FIFA. It's kind of went to hell. But thank you for joining me on this sports hour by myself. I think that's it. See you on the next video. Hopefully with Anthony. Bye.